Well, good morning, YouTube. This is my first real video, I guess. I don't do this often, but a product came out right here that I was pretty excited about, and I couldn't find any reviews for it. So I thought that I'd contact a manufacturer and see if they'd be interested in helping me do a review. So let's get to it. What we have here is from Barry's Bullet Manufacturing. It is their brand new, you can read that, 300 Blackout, 220 grain plated projectiles. I've been looking for a good solution to do subsonic reloads for 300 Blackout that's reasonably priced, and finally I think my prayers were answered. This is the Spear Point. See if you guys can see this. Spear Point, 220 grain. Barry's plated bullet. Now Barry's recommends a collective overall length of 2.1 inches. The projectile itself, I don't know if you guys can see that real well. They're 1.36. 1.360. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to load up a couple different kinds. I'm going to do some using good old Hodgins H110 powder. And I'm going to start in the neighborhood of 7.5 grains. I'm going to go to roughly 8.5 grains. Barry's recommends that you do not load these bullets faster than 1,300 feet per second. Because I'm doing subsonic, I want to keep mine around 1,100 feet per second. I'd be happy between 900 and obviously 1050. I live out here in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, so I don't know what our sea level is, but I know that if I keep my bullets around the 1100 range or below, I never have any problem with subsonic. Okay, YouTube, I'm back here. Just prepping the machine to get the new Barry's 300 Blackout, 220 grain Spear Point projectiles loaded up. And as I was counting out my projectiles for reloading, I noticed something. So I ordered a box of 500. Barry's was kind enough to donate, I believe it was 200 or 300 of the projectiles to me for this experiment. However, when I was counting out my projectiles, I found or ran into this. So here's what it should look like. Nice and round, no issues. But I found some like this. See that against me. Smashed up. Now, out of the 500 that I ordered, I counted them out. Barry's was kind enough to send me 503. However, I have 4 of them that have smashed ends, so I got 499 usable projectiles. Some of them were smashed up pretty bad. See that? The other thing that I noticed when I was counting out the projectiles is, I doubt you guys can see this, but on my hand, it's really oily, really slick. Some kind of a lubricant or something I think is used on those. I also reload on a lot of 9mm and I don't notice that. But on these 220 grains, I have got a lot of that oily residue. The last thing I did was I went through and I mic'd out 30 of these bullets just for fun, just to see. And in the previous video I had said that they are 1.360, which is still true. However, the range that I have found between my sample of 30 is 1.356 to 1.360 in the length. And I know that when reloading, you know, the bullet tips, you know, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do it from the ogive, but for just this practice or this video, this is how I've done it, and I just wanted to see. The other thing that I noticed is the box itself. You can see this says right here that the diameter is 3.09. See that? When I was checking the fattest part of the bullet that I could find, .08 and 3.085 seems to be what I'm coming up with. I have not found one yet that is 3.09, not saying that it's not in there, but I checked 30 of them. I've got all the way, the lowest I found was 3.75, 3.075, excuse me, and a lot of 3.085s. So anyway, hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of insight. Overall, I got 4 bad ones. They got an oily residue to them. I'm assuming in the manufacturing process that's what they use. And out of 500, I got 499 usable ones. Barry was kind enough to send 503 bullets in my box. So now we're going to start reloading, and we'll get back to it here in a little bit. I'm using, for my reloads, if I haven't said it already, if I have, I apologize, but today I'm going to be using CCI number 400 primers. I like these things a lot for reloading. And the brass I'm going to be using is Team Never Quit 300 Blackout, new unprimed brass. Pretty good brass. I picked it up at a bargain, so it's not something I usually use, but I'll give it a try. And then the 300 Blackout 220 grain berries plated projectiles. For my powder selection, I'm using H110, and I'm going to go start at 7.5 grains and move my way up to 8.5 grains, trying to keep my velocities in the 900 to 1100 range is what I'm going for. If I get some time, I'll do a powder change out, and I will use Accurate 1680 and see how those perform as well. But for today, I plan on using mostly H110. Alright guys, thanks a lot. After setting up the press, getting everything running, I did 10 rounds of 7.5 of H110, 10 rounds of 7.8 H110, and now I'm currently loading 8.1 grains of H110. Plan on doing most of these. Oops, almost forgot. I plan on loading mostly 8.1 because I think that's going to be the sweet spot. we'll take it out to the desert.
All right, guys, we're back today. It's a range day. Finally made all those 220 grain subsonic berries plated bullets that I was showing you in my earlier in the video. So here's what we came out with. My super high-tech organizational skills. We got 220 grain, 8.1 grain H110. All bullets are seated at an overall length of 2.1, which is the manufacturer's recommended. We also have in these other two bags 7.5 grains of H110 and 7.8 grains of H110. So we're going to give those a try today. Our test weapon today will be, I'll be using a obviously 300 AAC Blackout rifle. It's a Daniel Defense lower with a Knight's Ornament upper, and we are going to be using a 762 SDN6 suppressor. I got an Atlas bipod, regular old Generation 3 PMag here, and we're using a US Optics 1:4 scope. So hopefully this will get the job done. I've fired a couple rounds to get it roughly sighted in to where I think it should be. It only took me 3 rounds, believe it or not. This shoots very consistent, as my factory 186 or 7 grain AAC Blackout subsonic ammunition. I was kind of surprised to find that out. But with further ado, we'll go ahead and get this started. What I'm going to do for your guys' sake is I'm going to actually walk the camera down range. I couldn't make 100 yards clearly. It's like 93 yards, but I figured that's close enough. I'll put the camera down there so that you guys can have a good visual of the bullets actually impacting the target. I'm going to try to shoot roughly, we'll do like maybe 5 or 10 rounds of one powder change, and then I'll come and we'll check it out and see how it goes. So let's get started. Okay, here it is. I got the camera set up right here on the target. I'm going to walk roughly 96 to 93 yards that way and get some shooting going. And what you'll see is right here, that little green dot, that was actually, my shadow's in the way, that was actually from earlier when I was sighting the rifle in, so don't mind that. It's a brand new clear target. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 8.1 grain, since that's what I used to sight in. Shoot right here in the center mass, and then what I'll probably do is, it may take a delay for a second or two, but I'll probably load up the 7.8 next, and then the 7.5. And what I think I'll do is I will shoot at the top with the 7.8 and the bottom somewhere down here with the 7.5. That way, just to give you an idea of how those bullets with the different powder weights go. But so far, I really like how the 8.1 performs. It's going pretty fast. It's about 1,086 feet per second, so I like that a lot. I did not previously show the chrono information. I apologize. I should have brought my chrono out, but I did not. That was from earlier when I was testing the rounds, loading them up for today. So we'll go ahead and get started. So again, the middle is going to be 8.1, the top will be 7.8, and the bottom will be 7.5 grains. I'll shoot 5 rounds each. That way you guys can get an idea of the group. Please understand it might not be perfectly center because I'm just going for the groups, not actually tweaking my scope for the 100% accuracy since I just started this load. But anyway, here we go. All right, so there you have it. Just a quick reminder. This was all 5 shots of 8.1 grains. This was 5 shots of 7.8 grains. And this was 5 shots of 7.5 grains. As you can see, I was aiming right here. I was aiming for the center orange, and I was aiming for this 8. Looks to me like either the 7.8 or the 8.1 performed the best. This stuff, although it grouped well, my gun doesn't particularly like the lower grain weight. So I don't know if you guys could hear it. There wasn't a much of a difference sound wise with that suppressor on. Totally hearing safe, no problem, super easy to shoot. Sounds way less than even a 22 does. So I was pretty impressed. So the next thing is, give me a second, I'm gonna go set up some water jugs, some shaving cream, and some pumpkins, and we'll see how they do. I don't expect great results out of that, just because this is a subsonic grain bullet. It's not traveling real fast, not a hollow point, nothing special, but I figured, what the heck, we're out here, so we'll give it a shot. Bear with me. Okay, we're back. So here's what we got. Keeping the camera a little bit further away. Do not want to take out my iPhone 6. But basically, we got 2 cans of shaving cream right there, 2 pumpkins in the middle, and 2 water jugs on the edge. One other thing I wanted to bring up or show to you guys is, with that overall length, I'm hoping you can see this real well. These bullets stack fantastically. They are not affected by this little edge, which there's a lot of subsonic bullets out there that do get affected by that. Like I said, standard generation 3 PMag. I don't have any other PMags or magazines to check it against, but these guys, and I know it's not real great seeing down in there, but they absolutely line up just wonderful. Even with a full magazine, it is just gorgeous how it lines up. Functionality wise, shoots perfect, cycles great. I really am loving these bullets, actually. I mean, I cannot wait. This is a good product right here. I'm very happy with the accuracy for a subsonic bullet at 100 yards. That's phenomenal. And I don't know if you guys could see earlier, I'm assuming you could, but these bullets have got a lot of energy, or at least I'm assuming they do. I don't have anything to measure that against. However, you could tell that when it was smacking those boulders behind, they were just knocking chunks of boulders out of that mountain that I have back there, or that hill. Doing a really good job. So that kind of tells me, I've been shooting here for years, and a lot of the other bullets that I shoot, they just kind of hit and dissipate. They don't actually knock big chunks out of the wall like that. So I was excited to see that. Anyway, loaded up some rounds, keeping the camera a little bit further away, but here we go. I'm gonna stop it real quick and record in slow-mo, hopefully, so you guys can see some slow-motion footage. Okay, so here's what happens when you shoot shaving cream cans. Always been a favorite of mine, I tell everybody. Bullets didn't really do much. You can see where they went through. This one's still bleeding out. See? Oh, the back of that had better damage than I was expecting. However, that one did not, you see? So maybe that bullet tumbled or something, I'm not sure, but that one didn't. And that's just a pinhole right there, just poking out. And then that guy actually split open a little bit. So I wasn't really expecting massive terminal damage from these bullets. It's not really what they're designed for. Shooting targets though, super fun, really awesome, did a real good job. Again, in this footage, it was blowing stuff out of the bank again. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. My last video, I'll do a load up a 30 round mag and do a mag dump. Found a few more things to shoot laying around the back of my truck, so we'll give this another go. A couple more rounds, and then to finish it off, we'll do the mag dump on Mr. Target over here. Alright guys, I know it's getting, the sun's starting to go down. I hope you can see that. I'm going to try to put a mag dump down range. We'll see how this works. Well, that was 30 rounds, maybe 28. Not too bad, functioned real well. Shot them all. Pretty good energy. I really like these bullets. Alright, as I was packing up, I noticed I had about 12 more bullets, so don't want to let anything go to waste. So here's what I'm going to do for this final shooting exercise. I want to go back and measure these just to see roughly what they came out to be inch-wise. Just so you guys out there in YouTube land have a little bit better idea. I mean, you can see the accuracy, you know, by my thumb, you know, but I'd like to be able to give you a measurement from center to center as best as I can. So what I'm going to do is, just for fun, no real skill, I am just going to let all 12 rounds go right here. Semi-rapid fire, just to kind of see, keep the group in the headshot, and that's what I'm going to do. So give me a second, I'll run down range. Remember, it's like 93, 96 yards, something like that. Not exactly 100, but pretty dang close. So I'll be right back. All right, not too bad. Pretty excited with this stuff. I've said it a few times. Let me get my hand out of the way there. I think they do pretty good. Like I said, wasn't going for accuracy, just more of a semi-accurate, keep it in the headshot area. Here's those other ones. Just for so, okay, I will head back over to the reloading bench and put together some final thoughts, and I will do some measurements so you guys can see it one last time. And as of right now, I'll tell you guys, Barry's super kind enough to let me have that ammunition to do as a review. I'm very, very happy with the ammunition. Like I said, fantastic. I mean, if this is what you're looking for, a low cost budget way to fire 300 Blackout subsonic, I don't know if there's anything better on the market as of right now. So all right guys, I'll go back, finish up. I'll see you in a little while. Okay. We are back from the range again. We were testing out the Barry's 220 grain spear point plated bullet and the 300 Blackout. I told you guys I would come back and I would mic it out and see what it shows. So here we go. Remember, up here, this was just a 12 shot random kind of quick shooting exercise. I wasn't going for any accuracy. We started off on our first shot. We did this. Let me see if you guys can, I'll see if I can get in here closer. So this is 8.1 grains of H110. It mic'd out at 0.868 inches for the group size. Our second batch that we shot was 7.8 grains of H110, and that came out to be 0.980 inches. And then way down here at the bottom was our last group, which was 7.5 grains of H110, and it had a group size of 1.682 inches. So by far the 8.1 grains was the best, which I kind of thought would be. However, I was surprised at 7.8 grains. My rifle liked this a lot also, and that shot could have been user error. I could have jerked the trigger. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to load up a couple more of these and go back to the range, see if I can't tighten this group up, and then really work on this, see if I can tighten this group up, maybe use a actual like lead sled or something like that next time around. I think I've pretty much ruled out the 7.5 grains for this particular case for me.
my closing thoughts would be fantastic bullet projectile, cheap alternative way to shoot subsonic. One thing I did not try, and I wish I would have, was I did not try to see if these would cycle the action without the suppressor. So I will have to try that again in another video maybe coming up, give that a shot after I load up some more and see how those go. Berries, you did a wonderful job. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys sending the bullets to me. I'm glad I was able to do this review. I know it wasn't the most professional review out there. Like I said, this is really my first time ever putting a public video out there. So I just hope that it helps some guys that were out there like me looking for product review, and there was none out there. So I gave it my best shot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I think what I'm going to do is I have a Glock 19 here, unloaded of course. But I think the next review that I'm going to do, so stay tuned and see, is this trigger right here is made by a company local to Arizona called Overwatch. And I'm going to give these guys a try. They were kind enough to send me a trigger, and we're going to take it out to the range and give it a torture test, maybe put 1,000 rounds through it or something like that. Something fun, and see how it works. So I look forward to seeing you guys again, hopefully on another video, and thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them in the section below. I will do my best to answer them and get you guys answers. So thanks again, Berries, A+ product.